It's great to be here again. I was on here yesterday when I drew this picture of I Show Speed. So today I'll be drawing his friend, his pal Kai. So let's increase the brightness. This is the picture I'll be drawing. So as you can see, this paper is the one I've used for several drawings that I've posted on my Instagram. I have uploaded each and every one of these drawings you see to my Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube as well. So these are different creators. Today we're drawing Kai. So let's get right into it. And if you watched my stream yesterday, then you know what this piece of paper is just what I use to clean the pen nib, because when you're drawing you'll get to a point where you'll have excess ink at the tip of this pen, so you don't want that on your drawing, because it could what you do is you just use this paper to erase or wipe or clean the nib of the pen, and then keep on drawing. So let's get right into it. I'm going to keep the phone right here where you can see it, and adjust the camera a little bit. Alright, we're good. So now I'll start. I'm starting with the face. I'll try to go as I can. So yesterday I had just one viewer and 2 likes, I think. One of those likes was obviously. So let's see how many viewers I'll get on the live stream. Yesterday's live stream is available on my YouTube channel, by the way. If you want, you can go check it out. I'll try to post as consistently as I can. I'll try to post every week, and let's just see where it goes. I had a lot of fun yesterday. Let me keep this drawing right here. Just keep that right there. Had a fun session last time I was here. And I was telling you guys about, how I plan to be posting consistently, and how I plan to start live more often. And yesterday was my first time going live, by the way. That was my first time going live, not just on YouTube, but in general. And I had planned for a long time to go live and to live, but I finally decided to take that step yesterday. I'm very proud of myself. So today's my second day going live, and again I'm drawing a very famous live streamer. And yeah, like I said yesterday, I just find it suitable, to these guys, because they're the biggest in the world of live streaming. And it's crazy because I just recently got the app, what's it called, Twitch. I just recently got got the Twitch app and signed up, so maybe sometimes I'll stream on there as well. So as you can see, I've already gotten down the shape of the face, and I'm going to now go in and add the facial features, the eye, the nose, the eyes, the nose, and the lips. Make it look like Kai. And I spoke about this yesterday as well. I'll be using the hatching technique. So that is just a series of same directional lines and cross hatching, which is much like hatching but has overlapping lines. This is the method that I love to use for my drawings. I find them easy to use and they're my favorite. So I'll be using hatching and cross hatching to draw this portrait of Kai. So I'll start with the eyebrow, like that. Move over to the other one. And I'll draw the eyes next. Oh, cool. Have two viewers. Hi guys. What do you think of the drawing bar? Let me know in the comments. This is what I drew yesterday. Shift this so that you guys can see well. And let me show you. This was the reference for that drawing right here. So today I'm drawing Kai. I'm drawing this picture of Kai. So we've already made progress. We are 6 minutes in. Wow. Just rose to 5 viewers. Welcome guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm drawing Kai over here. And we're 7 minutes in now. So yeah, we're making progress. So I'm going to zoom in now so that you guys can see. When I draw the eyes, what I love to do is I love to leave a dot or 2 dots, and that just gives it a beautiful look, makes it look realistic. And you know that from this, you know, if I had the eye look like this, it wouldn't look so, you know, 3D. So this is what I love to do. All right, so just have to be careful now. If I'm not so careful, it might end up not looking like Kai, and we don't want that to happen. So you have to pay close attention to details as you're drawing. So I think I knew who Kai and IShowSpeed were last year. The first time I saw their videos was I think sometime last year, and I've just been a fan of these guys ever since then. I love their story. I'm inspired by them. I love what they do. And as a matter of fact, I am inspired by people who, you know, have achieved success through, you know, hard work and just having that, you know, relentless pursuit of excellence. And these guys are amazing. And they just keep reminding me of what can be accomplished, what can be achieved if stick with your dreams and do all the things you need to do consistently for as long as you need to. That's why I love them, and that's why I chose to draw them today on this live stream. And like I said yesterday, I'm going to, you know, try to be consistent just like they have past years, and I'll just see where this, you know, I've had this channel for about 5 years now. I've had this channel for like 4 to 5 years now, and I went live for the first time on this channel yesterday. So, and today's my second day, so I'm already on, you know, a 2-day streak, and I'll just try to keep the ball rolling and just see where that leads me. So I think this is looking good so far. So I'm just going to go on and draw the lips now, but I'm starting with the beard, the mustache that he has. So put that there nicely. And now the lip is waiting next. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Um, so now we're already done with the upper lip. We're moving rather quickly, I think. And now we are at the lower lip. There we go. And now the beard. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm going to read the chats. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, put it down there, and I'll definitely um, read it. All right. So I think, well, at this point, I enjoy every step of the process. But initially, line art used to be my favorite because it's just very relaxing. And I used to, you know, find the shading process a little bit more difficult. But now I love every single step of the way. So we're done with the hatching, and now we go into the next phase, which is the shading phase. So I'll be using the hatching and cross hatching technique that I showed you guys to shade this beautiful picture of Kai. And if you pay attention, you see this, these things. These are outlines. In a drawing like this, you have the dark areas and you have the light areas. These are the highlights, and I'm using these lines to indicate the places that will be dark, right? And those areas that will not be dark. So I do that every time I'm drawing, and I do that before I actually move into the next phase, which is actually adding the hatching and cross hatching lines to shade drawing. So I've done that with the headband or whatever this is, and now moving down to the face, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So in areas will be bright, and which areas will be darker, and also use the same method to identify the shadows and the other aspect of the drawing. So this is really fun. I mean, to teach people my methods and explain how I create my pieces of arts and my drawings, and this is just the perfect opportunity to do that. Now I have three of you guys here watching. That's a really cool feeling. Like when I was thinking about going live, I was like, well, will I have any viewers at all? But now I have three of you guys here watching, and that's amazing. Thanks, guys. All right, so we keep, you know, doing the outline. We're still in that phase, and when we're done with that, you know what's next. Shading. So now I think we're done with that, and we'll go into the next shading phase. So what I like to do at this point is I like to start by shading the most dark areas of the drawing. So I'm talking areas like the beard, this part of the um, head tie or whatever this is. Uh, and all the dark areas of the drawing. Once I'm done shading those dark parts, I'll then move to the mid-tones, because in a drawing like this we have we have three tones actually. We have the dark tones, right? We have the mid-tones, and then we have the light tones. So let's say let's use this drawing for example. We have areas like the beard, which would be very dark, right? We have areas like the cheeks right here, which I would consider to be the mid-tone, and then we have this area which is a lot lighter than these two, and that would be the light tone. So I'm going to start with the darkest of the three tones. The darkest values is what I like to shade first. Just go that way. Um, Using those same directional lines I told you guys about, like that. Can have fun with this. You can shade in whatever direction. You can go this way, you can go that way, you can go this way. It really does not matter. And you go right here, do the same thing. Something I just noticed, these folds, right? And I'm now adding those because I want this to look realistic. I want it to actually look like, fabric. So we're going to add those, and we worry about the intricate details later. Now we're just still in the early phase, of the drawing. Oh, we're up to 4 viewers. Hey guys, leave a comment. Um, Write in the chats and let me know where you're from, where you're watching from, and what you think of this piece of art so far. I'm going to read every comment, going to reply to each one. So go ahead and let me know what you think. All right. So I just set the messages so that I can see all the messages you guys send. So feel free to let me know. And this is all it is, guys. It's just same directional lines. Um, but you have to learn to apply different levels of pressure to it, because if you press down too hard, the lines will be dark. If you press down too light, the lines will be barely seen. And if you apply moderate pressure to the pen, um, then what you'll have will be, what would be in the mid-tones when you're shading areas like this. So how hard you press the pen against the paper determines how um, the lines will look on paper. So right here, I think this would be what I'd call the mid-tones, kinda, or the light the light value. So I'm applying very little pressure to this. Applying very little pressure to this. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. Those are my neighbors, my neighbors' children, and they're just having fun. They're playing outside, so don't mind the noise. Um, there we go. So I think I'll stop shading the this for now, whatever that is. This is really fun. I'll move to the next part. I'll move to the next area, the face, and then we'll shade the dreads. We'll draw the dreads later, and then um, we'll call the drawing finished. So let's quickly move on to the next area. And I'm just using the same shading technique. And I'd like to point out that there are shading techniques. So instead of doing this, right, I could choose to do something like this. That would be scribbling. I could choose to use points, so dots, to shade. That would be pointillism. But I'm not using either of those. I'm using hatching and cross hatching because I'm just a fan of that style of shading. And yeah, we're using the same hatching technique for the face now. We use this for the head, and now we're using it for the face. And at this point, when it is just like same directional lines, it's called hatching. But if I go in and apply another layer of lines like this, then that makes it cross hatching, right? So I am liking how this is turning out. Um, and then I can go shade the other areas. Like, you're still using the same principle as before. I like to start with the dark areas of the drawing. So if you look at this drawing right here, you see this side of the face is a little dark. This side of the face is a little dark, and oh my god, I can't talk. It's a little dark, and the forehead and you know inside here is a lot brighter. So I like to start with those dark areas under the lip right here, under the eyebrow right here. I like to shade those areas first. Why do I do this? Well, I I just find it easier to, start with those areas because um they just kind of make the drawing come to life, and you just kind of know at that point like what the drawing is gonna look like when it's finished, because images like this are just composed of lighting and shadow. So you have those lighting, you have those shadows, and the composition of these are the building blocks of the image itself. So if I apply those, like if I shade the dark areas first, then the highlighted areas are exposed, and already the drawing starts to come to life. And yeah, that's why. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just the reasoning behind me using this, or starting with the dark areas first. So as you can see, I'm going in and I'm applying more layers of hatching lines to make that area even darker and smoother. So I'm going to zoom in. Oh, I just got 2 more viewers. Welcome, guys. I've gone up from 4 viewers to 6 viewers. You guys are amazing. Um, oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just Meet Days. Just Me Days. Lifestyle. I appreciate you. Um, so I'm just applying another layer of hatching lines to the face to make it even darker and smoother. So I'm now going to move on to other areas like under the eyebrows right here, right? We don't have to do too much here. Now we're going to move to the lip. I'd like to do the same thing here, right? And if you guys would want to learn more, would like to learn more, I have a few tutorials on this YouTube channel, so you can go check that out once I'm done with this live stream. And I plan to post more tutorials in the future. It's just that I've like had a lot of difficulty, being consistent because I'm currently in university, but I'm just gonna keep, doing my best to post these videos. And I've had people DM me on Instagram asking for tutorials, so I know you guys want, some of my followers on Instagram want to learn how to draw, so I'm going to add more tutorials to the ones that I already have on this YouTube channel, so you guys can go check those out. All right, all right. Going to zoom out a little bit more, and now we're moving to the nose already. And you see, when you're drawing, right, I like to tell people to think of the drawing in terms of like shape. So for the nose, I'm thinking of something like this, right? This is what it is in my mind. And let's say that you have this piece of paper. So you just take this piece of paper and you fold it that way. So light comes from here, right? This is the light source. And the light is going to shine on this part of the drawing, right? This area is going to be dark. right? And considering like that there is, okay, let's say there's another parts of the paper here. Under that paper, you'll have shadow. You'll have that black part, which is the shadow, and up here you have very bright parts. This would also be dark, and that's what I think of when I'm drawing the nose, right? So the same principles apply. It's just how light and shadows interact, and this nose is shaped the same way, right? So this part I'm shading right now is dark and much darker than this part, the top of the nose, because there's, there's shadow here and there's light up top, and the light is casting the shadow to this part of the nose. So it's just basically understanding. It's the understanding of basic shapes and how light interacts with objects, how light and shadows interact. Those things will help you understand um, images better and will ultimately help you become a better artist. Um, this is wonderful, if you ask me. I love doing these. It's like I said in yesterday's live stream. It's meditative to me. It's therapeutic. I just love drawing. I draw all the time. I draw everywhere, and I just have fun with it. So we're making progress here, and I have two ballpoint pens. What happens is when I'm creating pieces of arts like this, um, I like to switch between them. This one is the one I've been using this whole time, and when you use a particular pen for so long, it starts to bleed. It starts to bleed, right? And if you've ever drawn with a pen, you know what I mean. So you constantly use this piece of paper to clean it. So when it bleeds too much, I like to drop it and pick up a new one. So now we have a new pen to draw with. So my phone is now low. Oh my god, I got a new comment from Major Starling. Hello, dear. Thank you so much for the comment. You said good one. Yeah, thank you so much. Love that. Amazing. That's very kind of you. You just subscribed? Wow. I just got a new subscriber. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. You are amazing. You are awesome. Thank you so much. So, I'm sorry, Major Starling, I got distracted phone because I just got a message. It's low. I don't want the streaming, so that's why I pay attention to the screen to see that you commented. So yeah, we're now back and we're using the new to continue shading. So the same method is what we are still sticking with. We're still using the, hatching lines for the shading process. And you can see now that I'm not applying as much pressure as I was when I was shading this area, right? So here is a lot, like the pressure is lighter, and that results in the lines looking not as dark. And like I said, you're still using the principles, right, of light and shadows. So when I see areas, the upper